Well, they are a critical resource for children in need in our area, helping them through extremely difficult times. CASA, or Court-Appointed Special Advocates, is a vital part of our community. This morning we have Mikelle Ward, the volunteer coordinator, here with us to talk more about their mission and their community involvement. And it's great to have you back on the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Well, we were kind of just talking about CASA and just the need, unfortunately, in our community, but how grateful we are to have this resource.
It is an amazing organization made up of some of the best people I've ever met that step forward and volunteer to be a voice for a child that would have none, a child that's been abused and neglected in the court system. And at that point in a child's life, it's very confusing, and there's often some uncertainties about what's going on and uncertainties about what might help that child thrive and be safe and be healthy. And our volunteers step in and they assess needs and recommend and do so much for a child to help them grow in safety and health.
And I would imagine through that process, because it is a process, it can take some time, they really develop relationships, positive relationships with these children.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of hats that CASA volunteers wear, and one is absolutely mentoring, but others include just being so actively engaged in that child's life that they are engaging the community all around the child, because when we are serving in the court system and actually in the courtroom, that is such an important part, because that's where our volunteers speak up and say what they have seen, going on, and what could be better for that child and help them grow in health and safety. But also, what our volunteers do is engage the community around the child. That happens in ways of truly learning the child's story, so they can get to know that child and be able to recommend things for them. But it's also making connections throughout that child's life and their community, because long after we hope that court case is closed, we want that child to have these connections that are helping them maintain safety and continue growing healthy.
So is part of that just identifying these people that maybe have been in this child's life in some way, but never specifically drawn out, so the child maybe sees them differently than they did before?
Absolutely. A lot of times when a CASA volunteer is engaged in the child's life, they'll learn people that the child is just drawn to, and might be able to encourage connections, as well as we also try to utilize the community resources around. We connect families to resources like Second Harvest Food Bank and Rise Up Coalition for Kids, the Family Justice System or Center. There are so many area resources and community resources that strengthen families.
Yeah.
And sometimes families just need connection and need help in knowing what's out there, what can help them. And anytime that we're helping the family and building these connections, we're helping those children too.
Oh, absolutely. So working on behalf of the child, but really strengthening their whole family unit to help them survive in today's world.
Absolutely.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful work. Well, thank you so much, Mikelle, for joining us and shedding some more light on just what the volunteers do. For more information on this great organization here in our community, it's CASA, NETN.org.